हेलो दोस्तों, स्वागत है आपका मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल में क्विक टू लर्न। सो टुडे वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ पाइथन एंड द बेसिक नॉलेज अबाउट द पाइथन। तो फर्स्ट हम देखते हैं कि पाइथन होती क्या है। तो पाइथन इज अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज एंड पाइथन इज अ जनरल पर्पस लैंग्वेज, हाई लेवल प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज। And Python was developed by the Godot and Rossum in 1989 by working at the National Research Institute at Netherlands. But officially Python was made available to public in 1991. The official date of birth of the Python is Feb 20 in 1991. Python is recommended as first programming language for beginners because it's easy to learn and easy to understand. It's similar to the English statements and sentences. So to print hello world in Python, so Java can take a lot of statement to print hello world. But in Python, we can print simply in one line, like the parent, print and parenthesis, double quotes hello. We simply print the hello world. And C is also take a lot of lines. C takes 5 lines to print the hello world, but Java takes 7 lines to print the hello world. But Python is takes only one line to print the hello world. So to print the sum of two numbers in Java takes the 7 lines, but take that sorry 10 lines. C takes the 9 lines, but Python takes 3 lines to sum of two numbers. So the name Python was selected from the TV show. The Monty Python Circus was broadcasted in BBC from 1969 to 1974. So the person Donovan Rossum takes the name of Python from the famous Monty Python Circus, and he takes the Python from that. And Guido developed Python language by taking almost all programming features from the different languages, and he takes the most of the feature from the C as well as Java, and can create a wonderful language called Python. So the functional programming features from the C, object-oriented programming features from the C++, and scripting language features from the Perl and the shell script, and the modular programming features from the Modula 3. So most of the syntax is Python derived from the C and the ABC language. So this is the biggest question where we can use Python. So Python used everywhere in the field. So almost all the fields Python can be used in data science, data analytics, machine learning, and web development, games, Android. So for developing the desktop application, Python can be used. For developing the web application, Python can be used. For developing the database application, it's so Python also can be used. For network programming, developing games, data analysis, and machine learning, artificial intelligence, and for IoT, and most of the field Python can be used. So not internally Google and YouTube use Python coding. NASA and Network Stock Exchange application developed by Python. So this is the famous networking site where we can use Python. So top software companies like Google, Microsoft, IBM, and the Yahoo using Python. So what was the future of Python? So there is many features, simple and easy to learn because Python is a simple language. We can read Python programs. We can feel like reading like English statement, and the syntax of Python is very similar to the English word. It's around 30 plus keywords are available. So when we compare with the other language, we can write programs with less number of lines, hence more readability and simplicity. So we can reduce the development and the cost of the projects. So what was the freeware and the open source? Everyone can their contribute in the Python because it's open source and free to use. And the third one is the high level programming language. Python is a high level programming language and hence it is a programmer friendly language. So being a programmer, we are not required to concentrate low level activities like memory management and security. So it is so it's a high level programming language. And the platform independent means once we write a program in Python, so it can be run anywhere in the any platforms without writing the code. So you can write once and use everywhere. So internally, PVM is responsible to convert into machine understandable form. PVM is the Python virtual machine. Can be used to convert the machine code. Use the code into machine understandable form. And portability. Python program are portable. You can migrate from one platform to another platform very easy. So Python programs will provide same result on any other platform. So it is a portable language. So dynamic types means it is not required to declare the types of variables where we can use. It's directly we can assign the value in data in the variables and they can dynamically assign and allocate the memory according to the variables which we can use. Like we can use 1 to 3 the numerical types so they can take a integers types, data types and allocate memory according to them. But Java C it is are a statically typed language because we have to provide type at the beginning only. So this dynamical type nature will provide more flexibility to the programmers. So both procedure oriented and object oriented. So Python language support both procedure oriented and the object oriented features. Hence we can benefit of both like security as well as the reusability of code. So interpreted, we are not required to compile the Python program explicitly. Internally, Python interpreter will take care that the compilation. Its compilation fails, the interpreter raises the errors. So when compilation succeeds, then the Python virtual machine is responsible to execute them. Extensibles, so we can use other language programming Python. So the main advantage of this approach are we can already existing legacy, so non-Python code. We can improve the performance of the applications. Embedded, we can use Python programs in the other programs. We can embed Python programs anywhere in the other language. Extensive library means Python has a rich and a huge number of libraries which we can work on any projects. So being a programmer, we can use this library directly and we are not responsible to implement the functionality. So limitations, some of the limitation of Python. So performance wise not up the mark because it's an interpreted language. Not using for mobile application cannot be used in Python. So what was the flavors of Python? C Python. C Python is standard for C language application. J Python, Jython or J Python. J Python is a Java application. It run on the JVM. Iron Python is C Sharp and .NET platform, and PyPython is Python. And JIT compiler is available inside the PVM. JIT compiler is just in time compiler. And the Ruby Python for Ruby platform. Anaconda Python is especially designed for handling large volumes of data processing. So some of the Python versions are available. So 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. So current version is like you can download according to you. So is the identifier. Identifier is a name in Python program is called identifier. It can be class name or the function name or module name or variables name. So A equals to 10. So A is the identifier which we can use. Some of the rules to define the identifier in Python. So alphabet symbols can be used. Digits 0 to 9 use. Underscore symbols use. Only underscore symbols can be used. So cache 10 and the cache because as dollar sign can be used. So it is not in used in the identifier and identifier use not with start with digits but after the alphabet they can use digits. So some of the case sensitive, so Python is a case sensitive language, so the total 10 and the total are the different identifiers. So some of the varied Python identifiers. So reserved words in Python, some words are reserved to represent some meaning or functionality. So such types of words are called reserved words. They are only used for the some specific functionality can be varied. But at the time you can use the reserved words like true, false, and or not, if, else, else, while or break, continue, return, else, try, case, finally, where. Some of the 33 reserved words are available in Python. So note, all reserved words in Python contain only alphabetical symbols except the following three. Reservoirs all contain only lowercase alphabet symbols like true, false, none. Here the three can be used in start with uppercase letter, but the remaining are start from the lowercase letter. And data types in Python. So there are the various data types in Python which we can use: int, float, complex, boolean, string, bytes, bytes array, range, list, tuple, set, frozen set, non. So this is the data types in Python which we can use, and it's a dynamically typed language. So it can allocate the memory according to your data which we can use provide. So now Python contains several inbuilt functions like type to check the types of variable, ID to get the address of object because it can store the data from the memory. So it gets some address. So the ID function can be used to find the address in the memory location. The other is print to print the value. So Python everything is an object in data types. So in data type you know that in data types will represent the whole numbers like decimal, binary, octal, hexadecimal. So you can check that like binary form, octal forms, and hexadecimal form. The base conversion, how you can convert the bin to convert from integer or binary, octal, hex, float data types. Float data type represent the floating point values, and so this is the some examples of floating data types. And complex data type. Complex number is the form of a plus b z's. So real part and the imaginary parts are combined to form the complex number. So 3 plus 5 j. So some of the example of word complex number. Boolean data type is value for true and false. The only allowed values for this types are so the internal Python represents true as a ones and false as a zero. And is string data type. STR represents a string data type. A string is rectangle of character enclosed with a single quotes or the double quotes. And slicing of strings. So there are the functionality which we can use to slice the string. It's a square bracket operator. It's called the slice operator, which can be used to retrieve the parts of the string. So in Python, string follows zero-based indexation. The index can be either positive or negative. So positive index means forward direction, left to right, and the negative index is right to left. It's the backward direction. And so this is the typecasting, how you can convert the one type value to the another type. So this conversion is called typecasting or type conversion, type conversion. So the following are the various information about typecasting: int, float, complex, or string. So int, you can convert a floating point value to int, but you cannot convert the complex numbers to int. You can convert the boolean and string value as well. And the other is float. You can convert the floating point value, integer value, and string value to float, complex. So there are the some conversion of data, fundamental data types. So this is not important. Bytes data types, byte array data types. So this is the one you can watch and learn. So list data types. If we want to represent a group or value as a single entity where insertion order are required to preserve and duplicates are allowed, then we go to for list data type. So insertion order is preserved means you can insert according to what was the position of the sensor. So heterogeneous object allowed means you can store the data in any types like the all data types can be used in list and duplicate values allowed. The gravel in nature's values should be enclosed with the square bracket can be used in list. So this is the example of list. They can store the integer, floating, string, boolean, and also the integers. So this is the example of what list. So list, how you can access the list by using the index. So list zero can represent the zero index elements, and the minus one represent backward direction from left to right. And the one three slice in one start from one and end with the three. This is you can change. It's a mutable type list. So this is the mutable type which we can update the value or change the value. So this is that. And the tuple data type is exactly the same as the list, but except that it is an immutable, so we cannot change the value. If we can change the value by forcefully, so we can convert the tuple into list and then change the value, and then after we can change the list into tuple. So this is the way we can change or update the value of tuple. So this is the tuple. So range data type. So range data type represent a sequence of numbers. So the elements present in range data types are not modifiable. So range data type is immutable. So first is range 10. Generate number from 0 to 9. For example, r equals to range 10. So for I in R, range 0 to 9. So this is the range and this is the tuple. So next video we will learn set, dictionary and other function like and generator, iterator, decorator. So thank you guys.